Hey everybody, it's Travis with the Armory Life, and today we're going to be talking about the book Shooting to Live by Fairbairn and Sykes. Now, Fairbairn and Sykes is two people, both captains in the Shanghai Police Department. Now, these guys were police officers there under, British rule, and it was a very violent place at the time. So they developed a manual on how to train new recruits, new police officers, because of how violent the place was. Now, the manual's great. You should definitely go check out my article at thearmorylife.com. And also check that book out. You can find it for free on archive.org. It's very old. I believe it was written in 1941. Now in the book, it's a lot of it's how to set up training for police officers, which is fine. But they do go over some tactics and they do over a lot of mindset. But today we're going to be looking at a few of their hip positions. Now what's important about these hip positions is context. So these were positions that you use at close quarters combat. These weren't normal shooting positions that you'd use in a gunfight or if you were more than 15 yards from someone. In fact, I did advocate for a thumbs forward, two-handed grip when you were 10 to 15 yards away. Now, these positions where you were taken by surprise, if you're moving as a police officer, it's not like you're in a combat zone where you're pointing your gun at everything, but you do have to be ready. So the first one's the three-quarter hip, which wasn't just a shooting position, but a position they taught their officers to move in. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is remember, you're gonna be walking. The idea is that you're moving. So you're gonna crouch, you're gonna have 1 foot forward, and the gun's gonna be pointed at the deck. Like so. That way it's safe. So that if a target just surprises you and pops up, you can just raise it and fire. Now again, it's more of instinctive shooting and only designed for close quarters. So we're crouched, we're moving, target. It's pretty simple, right? All right, so the next one we're gonna do is called the half hip. Now the half hip's similar to the three-quarter hip, but you're just standing. You're not crouched, you're not walking forward. And it's a close retention. According to Shooting to Live, this technique maxes out at 3 yards. So that's how far we are from our target now. Let's try it out. The last technique we're looking at is going to be the quarter hip. Now the quarter hip is what we now call close retention. That's when the gun's right here, like someone's coming at your gun and it's right here. So they called it the quarter hip position. Now, they basically said the max effective range for this is about 1 yard. Probably stretched to 2 yards, but that's what we are now because the camera's got to be there. So let's see how good this is. Now, one of the main differences between this and all the other techniques is this gun stays down here. It doesn't go in the center of your body like the three-quarter hip and the half hip, okay? So we're gonna keep it down here, all right? So let's set the camera up so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. All right, so Shooting to Live has a lot of interesting information in it. Now, what's really fascinating is that they designed this around their experiences. This is what they did in this country, in this rough time that they were experiencing. So it's all based off of, I guess, a lot of human instinct. And now, while you could say it's outdated, you could say training's changed, but the reason it's changed is because as people who shoot, our instincts have changed, our tactics have changed. They did not have the basic tactics we have now to build upon. In fact, they laid the first building blocks. So they really contributed overall to the concealed carry, to police, to military shooting, to defensive shooting as a whole, I guess I should say. It's definitely a book worth checking out. It's fascinating to see what these guys were thinking about all the way back in 1941. A lot of the same things you'll learn in that book, especially about mindset and training, are what you'll learn from modern instructors. So definitely give that book a read and check out the article at thearmorylife.com. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys learned something.